On December 30th, 2025, the entertainment world lost Isiah Whitlock Jr., the actor who gave us one of television's most memorable characters and its most iconic catchphrase. This is the story of how a steel mill worker's son from Indiana became a beloved figure in American television, and why his legacy extends far beyond a single word stretched to 9 syllables. Whitlock died peacefully in New York City at 71 after a short illness, and his manager, Brian Liebman, captured what everyone who knew the actor felt when he released this statement: "If you knew him, you loved him. A brilliant actor and even better person. May his memory forever be a blessing. Our hearts are so broken. He will be very, very missed." Millions of viewers will forever see him as Maryland State Senator R. Clayton "Clay" Davis from HBO's The Wire. But the journey to that role started far from the Baltimore streets the show depicted. September 13th, 1954, South Bend, Indiana. Whitlock arrived as the 5th of 10 children, though some sources say 11, and his father spent his days working in a steel mill. Young Isiah initially followed a completely different path when he accepted a football scholarship to Southwest Minnesota State University, planning to make his mark on the field rather than the stage. Football injuries changed everything. Theater became his focus, and his first acting role happened almost by accident when he walked into auditions for Arthur Miller's The Crucible on a whim and landed the part. By the time he graduated in 1976 with a theater degree, he discovered his true calling. Training at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco came after graduation, and then Whitlock made the move that countless aspiring actors make when he relocated to New York City. A TV movie of A Christmas Carol gave him his first on-screen credit in 1981. And throughout the 80s and 90s, he built a career one role at a time, appearing in everything from Goodfellas as the doctor who gives Henry Hill Valium, to Gremlins 2, The New Batch, to guest spots on Cagney and Lacey. Eventually, he'd played 12 different characters across 14 episodes of various Law & Order series. But 2002 changed everything for Whitlock, and it happened because 2 projects arrived at almost the same time. Spike Lee's 25th Hour came first, casting Whitlock as a detective who discovers drugs hidden in a couch, and in that role, he delivered a line inspired by his late Uncle Leon. Uncle Leon had this distinctive way of saying a particular profanity, stretching it out and using it to punctuate sentences or respond to questions. Ask Uncle Leon how he slept, and he'd respond with, "She, man, I hit that pillow," and or he'd finish a meal and say, "She, that food was good." The timing and delivery made people laugh every time. Whitlock brought that vocal trademark to 25th Hour, and then to Lee's 2004 film, Sheeeeit Me. But when he landed the role of Clay Davis on The Wire, also in 2002, he spotted more opportunities to use it. And that's when the writers started scripting it into the show. Clay Davis was a corrupt Maryland state senator loosely inspired by real-life Baltimore politician Larry Young, running fundraising scams, maneuvering politically, and extorting drug dealers across 25 episodes spanning all 5 seasons of The Wire. Starting as a recurring character in seasons 1 and 2, he became more prominent from season 3 onward, and his final appearance came in the series finale when he faced embezzlement charges. What made Clay Davis unforgettable wasn't just the corruption. That drawn-out "sheed" became one of television's most recognizable vocal trademarks, and David Simon, the creator of The Wire, would later pay tribute to Whitlock by saying, "As fine an actor as he was, Isiah was an even better spirit and the greatest gentleman." The cultural impact of that one word became extraordinary. By 2008, Whitlock told an interviewer he'd hear people saying it from across Grand Central Station and they'd be smiling when they did it. He said he was glad people enjoyed it. In 2014, he even created a satirical YouTube series called The Isiah Whitlock Academy, teaching people how to say it properly. And he once noted, "I hear rappers trying to do it, and I've heard other people in other projects try to do it, but everybody knows if you really want to do it right, you're just going to have to bring the real guy in." And that's when Whitlock proved just how beloved his catchphrase had become. 2015 brought a Kickstarter campaign for a talking bobblehead featuring 3 different recordings, an all-purpose Sheeeeit, You Don't Know, Sheeeeit, and Sheeeeit. Over $100,000 poured in from 1,828 backers, and the campaign was fully funded in less than 1 day. He even owned the website Sheeeeit.com, spelled with 9 E's. One prototype of that bobblehead made it to a very special location. David Simon arranged for one to be given to President Obama, a known fan of The Wire, and according to reports, Obama said it would save his voice at least 5 times a day and kept the bobblehead on display. But Whitlock's career extended far beyond Clay Davis. 6 Spike Lee films featured his work, including Black Klansman and Da 5 Bloods, and when news of Whitlock's death broke, Lee posted on Instagram, "Today I learned of the passing of my dear beloved brother Isiah Whitlock. God bless." He later told the Associated Press it was a big, big loss and that he'd miss Whitlock for the rest of his life. HBO's Veep cast him as General George Maddox running against Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character in the presidential primaries, and voice work brought him to Cars 3 as legendary racer River Scott and to Lightyear as Commander Burnside. Films like Cedar Rapids, Enchanted, Pete's Dragon, and Cocaine Bear featured his work, and his final television role came in March 2025 when he appeared as Chief of Police in the Netflix series The Residents, alongside Uzo Aduba. Cedar Rapids gave audiences a meta moment where Whitlock played an insurance agent who claimed to be a fan of The Wire and did an impersonation of Omar Little, another beloved character from the show. Success never disconnected Whitlock from his roots. Southwest Minnesota State University benefited from the Isiah Whitlock Jr. Fine Arts Theater Endowment he established, providing scholarships to aspiring theater students, and he returned to campus as their commencement speaker in 1999 and as a guest artist for their Black History Month celebration in 2007. Privacy defined his personal life. A long-term relationship of over 15 years with actress Wilma Mondi remained largely out of the public eye, and details about his personal world stayed guarded. Those who knew him described him as a culinary artist, an avid wine collector and winemaker, a lover of jazz, and a New York Mets fan. Just 11 days before Whitlock passed, another Wire actor died. James Ranson, who played Ziggy Sobotka in the show's second season, died by suicide on December 19, 2025, at the age of 46. The losses hit the tight-knit Wire community particularly hard, coming after previous deaths of cast members including Lance Reddick, Al Brown, and Charlie Scaly. A 2020 interview with the Associated Press asked Whitlock if he ever got tired of people asking him to say his famous catchphrase, and his answer was simple and generous. "Do I get tired of it? No. If it makes you feel good, so be it." That sentiment captures something essential about Isiah Whitlock Jr. Resentment over being known for a single word stretched out and delivered with perfect comic timing could have consumed him, but instead he embraced it, celebrated it, and understood that bringing joy to people even in such a specific way was something to be proud of. 40 years of work stand as Whitlock's legacy, from small roles in Goodfellas to a talking bobblehead that made it to the Oval Office. A serious actor who never took himself too seriously. A collaborator who directors returned to again and again, and someone who, by all accounts, was exactly the kind of person you'd want to work with. 71 years old, and the entertainment world is quieter without him. But somewhere, someone is probably saying his catchphrase right now with a smile on their face, keeping his memory alive in the most fitting way possible. Rest in peace, Isiah Whitlock Jr. You'll be missed.